to what I thought was going to be the lead story today, and what I thought was a very worrisome development, maybe the most worrisome development, is the what happened in Poland overnight, and that is the fact that several Russian drones, primarily surveillance drones, although there is at least one. There's some indication that at least one suicide drone was also located in Poland. The number of Russian reconnaissance drones entered into Poland. They entered deep into Poland, quite far into western Poland, both north of Warsaw and southeast of Warsaw. They went all the way southeast of Warsaw. A number of drones came in. NATO was alerted. NATO planes were put in the air, including F-35s from the Netherlands and F-16s from Poland, that shot down the drones over Poland. This is the first time, while there have been cases where drones have broken through airspace. There's been cases where Russian airplanes have kind of tested the boundaries of NATO. This is the first time where a significant number of drones, a significant number of Russian systems have actually penetrated a NATO country and actually entered the NATO country. NATO has exercised, I guess, Article 4, they call it. Article 4 is of the NATO treaty. Article 4 is it directs the North Atlantic Council to begin immediately defense and military consultations. So Article 4, consistent with kind of the West and with consistent with Western bureaucracy, modern European bureaucracy, Article 4 basically sets up a committee to study what's going on. So immediate defense and military consultations for emergencies or situations of urgency. And it is triggered when, quote, the territorial integrity, political independence, or security of any of the parties is threatened. Even Donald Trump was a little surprised by the infiltration of these Russian drones into Poland. I mean, Trump is quoted as saying, "What's with Russia violating Polish airspace?" So this is a major incident. It could very well involve, now, you know, Russia's claiming that these drones were steered off course off the course that they were taking by Ukrainian electronics. This is not credible given the depth in which they went, given the location of where the drones are. Some of the drones were launched from Belarus. Belarus has not launched drones against Ukraine. There's every reason to believe that this is a Russian test of NATO's response. This is a Russian test to see how NATO reacts. Maybe they were measuring the speed at which the planes could reach these drones. Maybe they were just seeing what kind of political unity NATO had around this, what appetite NATO might have for confrontation with Russia. It's hard to tell what Moscow's intentions were. One thing is very clear, and I know this is going to be controversial among many of the people listening to the show. One thing is very clear, and that is that since Putin met with Trump in Alaska, Putin has acted in greater and greater, bolder and more bolder ways. That is, it is clear that whatever Trump told Putin, whatever Trump did with Putin, whatever Trump verbally or not verbally, signaled to Putin, Putin has viewed it as weakness. Putin has viewed it as permission for him, sanction for him to escalate. Indeed, since their meeting in Alaska, the number of attacks on civilians in Ukraine has increased. The use of drones and missiles has increased. the aggressiveness of Russia against Ukrainian infrastructure, the thing that Trump was complaining about, has only increased. We now have this. I mean, Trump keeps saying that the war in Ukraine would have never happened if he was president. Well, this suggests otherwise. This suggests that Putin is not intimidated by Trump one bit, that Putin is willing to at least poke NATO when Trump is president, because he believes Trump is weak and he believes Trump will do nothing. We still don't know exactly what the nature of the Trump-Putin relationship is, but clearly it's not one in which Putin is intimidated by Trump, or intimidated by America, or intimidated by NATO. So this is a interesting development. I don't think this is leading to World War III. I don't think Russia wants to actually go to war with NATO. Again, I think this is prodding and testing and gaining intelligence. But it is, without a question, it is an escalation, and it is something to watch. It's it's not good. It's not good. I certainly do not want to see the war expanded. It turns out that a couple of unknown aircraft were also detected entering Lithuania this morning at 10 a.m. The aircraft were scrambled, but the objects were not intercepted. And surveillance ongoing to determine if they landed or exactly what they were doing in Lithuania airspace. So there is a lot going on with regard to this, and I don't know that we will ever know the entire story. I don't know if we know it now, but NATO's on high alert. We had Italian AWACSs in the air, German Patriot missiles on high alert, and of course the Polish and the Dutch Air Force knocking down some of these drones. Again, I don't expect this to escalate, but it's hard to tell. In the meantime, Trump is urging Europe to place high tariffs on China and on India, as penalty for them continuing to buy oil from Russia. Trump has not imposed sanctions on Russia yet. There's been no movement of Trump to penalize Russia for everything that it's done, and for the fact that Putin has basically completely ignored Trump's, or basically snubbed Trump's efforts at some kind of meeting between Zelensky and Putin, at some kind of peace deal, ceasefire deal. Putin has basically told everybody to go to hell, and he is continuing with his war. So I don't know how this plays out. It's very difficult to tell what Putin's next move is. This is surprising to me. You wouldn't think that Putin wants to antagonize the Poles. I think if Poland was involved in the war, never mind NATO, Russia would be toast. It would be history. But NATO could annihilate the Russian army with, short of nuclear weapons, within days. I don't think Putin wants a test. I don't think he wants it. But maybe he thinks he's stronger than he really is. Maybe he thinks he's stronger than he really is.